Hey guys, it's Rachel here at From Moments to Milestones. I'm going to put together our Christmas card class featuring Spellbinders' latest Christmas release. So we have a little round ornament card, this one here, and a slimline. So this is the kit, and you'll have instructions in here if you don't want to follow along today. And we will go ahead and get started with this card right here. You do have a very small gold nail head in there that you probably don't want to lose, so be mindful of that. Some of them may be on a piece of Post-it tape. All right, so we will start by putting together these ornaments or layering them up. So what we're going to do is you're going to start with the dark pink, then we're going to do the gold, then the light pink. And there's kind of a square in the center of each one. And that's how you're going to layer it up. So that square is going to go over, so it should layer something like that. Okay, you don't want to do something like that. Just layer it up. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to put the gold onto the dark pink. All right, this is what you should end up with, this piece here, and we're going to do that 2 more times. All right, so I have all my circles layered up, and now I'm going to place them onto the white circles in this die cut piece here. So just going to hold on to it, put some glue on the back. And then I'm going to orient this square in the center as a diamond, but it's up to you if you did, whatever you want to do. It's pretty as a square too, and you could change them up. So see, I could have 1 diamond and 2 squares. It really doesn't matter. All right, so I have those on. And now I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to glue it onto this gold, creamy, shimmery paper that's so pretty. So I'm just going to flip that over. I'm just going to center that up on there. All right. And now I have popped this piece up. If you don't like dimension, you can skip this step. All right, so I have the backing peeled off there and make sure my card's opening the right way. And I'm just gonna center that on the card. All right. And now we can layer up these other things. So you have 3 gold ornament toppers. So I am just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the bottom and then put that right on top. All right, so there's those. And now we're going to layer up this pretty little pink poinsettia, and you can shape it if you choose. You just need to be gentle because there's so much detail on them that you could rip them. So I am going to just give them a little bit of shape. So I just have a stylus here and a mat, and I'm just lightly pressing on that so that they don't come apart. And then you can flip them over and press in the center. There we go, we have a little bit of dimension. I'm going to layer it up. offset the petals. There we go. All right, now we have this From All of Us embossed banner. And I'm just going to put a little bit of foam on the back of that. All right, and I am going to place that just overlapping the two, and then my flower is going to sit over here somewhere. So I'm going to cover some of that up. I oriented it to the right so you could do that. So I'm going to put it right there in the center. And then I'm just going to put that flower right on the end of this banner, like so. Cover it up. And for the finishing touch, just these little leaves, I'm actually going to glue them together first. So I'm just going to put a little glue on the edge of the leaf, of the larger leaf, and then glue the little one on top, like so. And then I'm going to tuck that in behind. All right, and then this little nail head here, I'm going to, I don't have my craft knife. Let me use my craft pick. Just going to pick that up and place it in the center of the flower. All right, and that completes that card. Okay, our next card is Wishing You Peace and Joy. This one also has little bits. You have a couple little rhinestones as well. You don't want to lose those. Okay, so what we're going to start with are these ornaments again. We're going to do the same thing like before. You want to make sure all your little chads are popped out there. But we're going to layer the darkest on the bottom, then the silver, then the light color. So I'm going to do that for both. All right, my ornaments are layered up, and now I'm going to go ahead and get them down onto this piece. We're not going to glue this piece onto our card base just yet because we need to wrap this string around. So before we do that, I don't know if you can tell the difference here. There's some shimmer to that one, and there's nothing on that. So you can leave it plain. Maybe you don't have what we used or anything like it, but I'm going to give you some alternatives. But what we used is this Art Alchemy metallic wax in white pearl, and a little goes a long way. If you don't have something like this, you could use some ink and lightly go over the top with some kind of flat surface. We're going to use our finger today because that works with this kind of medium. You could spray it with some, shimmer mist, or you can leave it plain. It's entirely up to you. Glitter would also work. Maybe I'll put glitter on all the berries in here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a small amount onto a little scrap here. A little dab will go a long way. And using my finger, I'm just going to get some on my finger. I don't want big globs, and I'm just going to rub it across the surface. And when it hits the dimension, it is picking up that shimmer. So that's ready to go. And now I'm going to, first I need to place my toppers, my ornament toppers onto my ornaments. So let me get a topper here, a little glue, and I'm going to just put it right on top. I'll do the same with this one. so I have my string here. You should have a 12-inch piece of silver thread. It's got wire in it, so you can maneuver it however you want. So I'm kind of dealing with a scrap here. I don't quite have, I have 8 inches. But I know in my instructions I told you to take the 12-inch piece, cut it in half, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I think I'll be all right to do that, yep. So we're gonna cut our piece in half. And really the difference between mine and yours is that today I'm just gonna have one thread come through. And here, in this card you can see I have 2. So I actually looped it. Make sure you can see. I actually looped it through the hole, and then I have 2, and then we're gonna wrap it around. But today I'm just gonna use one, so if you like that option, you can do that as well. You could tie a bow and just put a bow there if you like that. So I'm gonna start, I'm gonna put the blue up top. It doesn't really matter. And I'm just gonna glue it straight down. And you wanna make sure you get it covered pretty good because this is a bumpy surface. And I'm gonna come about an inch or so down from the top and in slightly. And I actually have a couple stamp blocks. I'm gonna hold that down for a minute while the glue dries. And then on this one, I popped it up. So you don't have to, there's so much dimension in these ornaments that just layering them will give it enough. But I have some very thin foam tape here, and I'm just gonna cut little pieces. If you have those little foam squares, those would work good. You might have to cut them in half. Okay, so I have put foam on the back of my ornament, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that down. And I'm gonna keep in mind my sentiment's gonna go down here. I'm just gonna kind of place that because I don't want to go too far down, so I'm going to do about right there. Give all that foam a good press so it sticks. All right. And then I'm going to take one piece of my string, and I really should have glued these behind there first. So I'm going to put, let's see, I don't quite have enough room to wrap them, or do I? Let me try. Oh yeah. Okay. So, like so. Okay, on that first one. So you're gonna put your string in there and wrap it. And then I have some office tape. And what I'm gonna do is pull it nice and taut and fold it over cardstock. So it's gonna look like that. Get it where you want it. And then I'm just gonna tape it down. Okay? And I'm gonna repeat that process for this one. So it might be easier to bend it first because of the wire, and then just put it through. And there we go. Take that one to the back. And now you have your ornaments. Like they're hanging from the top of the card, I guess. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece straight on. You can use foam if you want. I'm just going to use wet glue, and quite a bit of it because it is embossed. And I'm just going to put it centered onto the card base. So you'll have a white border. Something over those so it holds it down for a minute while I layer up my flowers and greenery. If you want to shape these flowers a little bit, you can. So I'm just going to put them face down. I'm not going to do the leaves. And I'm just going to give them a light press Flip them all over and push a little circle in the center. And then I'll layer the smaller ones on top of the big ones. All right, flowers are done. Now we can finish up the card. So we are going to put this wishing you peace and joy on top of the silver matte piece. And then I put that up on foam. All right, so we have that centered at the bottom. All right, and we're gonna finish it by placing our flowers, our leaves, and then our rhinestones in the center of the flowers. So I'm gonna put the blue flower down here by the red. And I'm gonna kind of have it, I mean, you can really, if you wanna do this, this would be pretty. You could put them both together. It's entirely up to you, but I put one down here. I think I'm actually gonna put that one on foam since that ornament is on foam. All right. There's that. And I'm going to do the same thing like I did before. I'm going to layer up the smaller leaf onto the larger leaf and then tuck those behind. Like so. And then I'm going to glue this one straight on. Put it up here. And we'll do the same with the greenery. Whoops. Put it on the other side. And there we go. Finish off here with these rhinestones. Just going to use my craft pick. One here. And one in there. Whoops. All right, that card is finished. Okay, our last card, our little ornament card, Merry Christmas. We also have rhinestones we want to keep track of, and lots of little pieces when you put together in that truck. So we're going to start with our card base. So you should have two circles, and one of them, as you can see, has a score line, okay, and one does not. This is the front, this is the back. We're going to go ahead and fold back on that score line. I'm going to pull it back up and I'm going to place adhesive only on this tab. Okay? And then I'm going to place the front of the card onto that piece. And now when you open it, you have a little round card, okay? All right, so one thing you want to be mindful of as we bend it, I mean, if you want it to hang and open this way, you're gonna make sure you have it down in front of you so it opens the correct way. Like you don't wanna have it like this, okay? So And we'll put it like so. And now I am going to put this blue piece right over the top. Now in my sample, I used foam and it gives it more, makes it feel thicker and more sturdy. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. You don't have to. As you can see the difference here, I can see the snowflakes here and here I cannot. All right, so it's up to you. I have a thin piece of foam and I'm actually gonna remove the backing so that it's pliable. And I'm just gonna go around the edge. I'm gonna peel off all the backing and then stick this piece down. All right, I have my little snow piece on there. And next we're gonna put on our snowbank, and it is gonna go on the bottom, but you're gonna wanna lift it up a little bit so you can see a blue border. That way it doesn't get lost behind our frame. All right. And then you should have two trees. So you have a larger one that's gonna go on this side, and you have a smaller one that will go here. And it does have two notched spots there that you could tuck a tree in if you want. I probably should have done that before I glued it down. You might be able to stick a craft knife in there and kind of pull it up so you can get something in there like that. And then that can slide in there. And that can slide in there. If you can't get that to work, you can tuck it behind if you want, or just place it right over the top. It's really gonna be fine. All right, so now we have our little tree scene there. Still making sure that's opening the right way. All right. Now we can go ahead and, well, before we put on the frame, we need to put on this topper because it's kind of hidden behind the frame. So I'm gonna put some glue on the back, on the bottom of it. And I am gonna use this as a guide because I don't want my topper to stick below the frame. So about that much. And if it's too much, you can always trim it, but that looks good to me. And now I'm gonna put down the Merry Christmas, and this just gets glued straight on. Merry Christmas is at the top. Put that down to hold it down for a minute. All right, Merry Christmas is on. So now what we're going to do is layer up our cute little truck. On this little Post-it piece, you have your tail lights, so you don't want to lose those. And I'm gonna start with the wheels, which are black. All right. And then I'm going to put the truck body on top of that. So it'll go on like that. You'll see a little bit of the wheels and the bumper, and then that bumper is gonna cover up the black, and so that you only see the tires, okay? So I'm gonna put a little glue there. Make sure my tires are going the right way. And glue them on. A little too much glue. All right. And then this little bumper is going to cover up the black bumper you can see sticking out. All right, so there's your little truck, and you're gonna put the tailgate right here. The 4 taillights are gonna go there, and then this line right here is actually open, so you can put things into your truck. So what we'll do is put this tree so it's sticking in there like so, I'm going to flip it over and just glue that trunk like so, so it stays. You could also use tape back there if you wanted, but that should do it. So let me put on the tailgate. This goes in the center. You can pop that up as well if you want so that it shows up more. And then these itty bitty little tail lights. I use my jewel picker for that, and they are probably upside down on your Post-it tape. And so the little ones go on top, and the big ones go on the bottom. All right, taillights are on, and so this little truck is ready to go on our scene. I did pop it up, so grab some foam. All right, we're gonna put our little truck driving through the snow. I actually don't want to cover up my Christmas too much, so I'm gonna bring it down a little bit more. And there you have it. How cute is that? Just need a couple finishing touches. So we have the rhinestones. I'm going to put some, you can see they're on the trees there. So I put the little ones on the little tree. And they are from a string of rhinestones, so you're probably going to need, they have adhesive, like they're stuck together in a line. So you'll have to cut through each one. Or a craft knife would be good here. I don't have one in here with me, but I'm going to put one there. Okay, those are done. I'm going to put it through. I'm just going to tie a bow. Fiddle with it a little bit until I'm happy with it, but not too much because this ribbon just wants to keep coming undone. Oops, not too tight either. You're going to rip the topper. All right, so that card is finished, and so is my video. Thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed these fun cards from Spellbinders. See you soon.